Hello folks, Mobile T here with another Street News Report. We are down here at the New Beginnings Christian Center where a large gathering of teachers, students, and supporters are prepared to go on strike if a negotiation is not reached between the Reynolds School District and the Teacher Association by 2 p.m. We'll be here reporting on this, and we'll be covering the real news and let you know what happens. Once again, this is Mobile T, street reporting for JoeAnybody.com.
That's right. I actually come with much more than a solidarity statement from the Portland Association of Teachers. I'm here with solidarity statements from teachers up and down the West Coast. The other day I emailed a couple of my friends who are teachers around up and down the West Coast when I heard about this rally. And several of them sent in solidarity statements to me, so I'm going to read them to you today. First one, we'll go up, down. So Seattle. Reynolds teachers, we educators in the social equality educators from Seattle are following your struggle and wish to pledge to you our solidarity. We know that you did not cause the financial crisis in this country that has caused state and local governments to slash school spending, and you shouldn't be asked to pay for the crisis with a reduction to your wages and working conditions. We find it appalling that our educator brothers and sisters in Reynolds, who are working overtime every day to provide a future for the next generation, are not treated with the dignity and respect they deserve. We know you are right to stand up for this respect, and you are right to go on strike to demand it. The teachers in Tacoma, Washington did the very same thing this year, going on strike for a couple of weeks to demand fair compensation and the respect of their seniority. Even when a judge threatened them with a $10,000 fine each, the Tacoma teachers stayed on strike till they won every single one of their demands. We social equality educators know that you Reynolds teachers with the same courage can win your fight. Solidarity, social equality educators, Seattle. The next message comes from Eagle Point. We know what it's like to have your life hijacked by a strike. We know the chants by heart. We know the concrete sidewalk and the wood end of the picket sign. We know what it's like to watch your employer wage a campaign to poison people's minds against you. We know this fight, and we stand with you. We stand with you because this fight is honorable, and the stakes are nothing less than the future of public education. In solidarity, Jay Schroeder, Executive Council Member, Eagle Point Education. Next one's from Berkeley. Reynolds teachers, your actions are an inspiration to all educators who are standing up to the attacks on our public schools and teachers. Your courage in the face of intimidation shows us all how high the stakes are in this struggle. Here in Berkeley, California, we know the devastation that budget cuts and teacher blaming has brought to our schools, students, and families. When faced with this crisis, we know we must fight back and do what is right for not only ourselves, but for our communities. In our state, we have seen a record number of school districts declare bankruptcy as our state government continues to starve social services in schools. It is no longer a question of whether or not we need to stand up, but how we can stand together across sectors and even states to demand a different set of priorities that puts kids and education first, not last. We send you our support and solidarity greetings as you wage this battle in Oregon. Stay strong. We are with you. Dana Blanchard, Berkeley Federation of Teachers. And San Francisco. Sisters and brothers, thank you for leading the way. Your struggle for quality public education is a fight that is going on across the country. Everywhere the banks got bailed out and schools got sold out. Soon many teacher unions from across the country will be joining you. My union, UESF, just voted recently to strike by 97%. Your struggle is our struggle. Stay strong and keep fighting because you fight for all of us. David Russitano, Executive Board, UESF. And the last one is from Los Angeles. Greetings and solidarity from Los Angeles. Here we face the same struggles that you do. Underfunded schools, state legislators, and a local school board bent on blaming teachers for the conditions of our schools and then making us pay out of our pockets for the recession created by the 1%. However, your example of fighting back will make it much more likely that we will be able to follow in your example and take a stand for quality education for the 99%. An education based on the joy of learning and not the bubble-in mandates of politicians and their private backers. Without us caring for the kids, business as usual cannot go on in major American cities. Solidarity forever. Jillian Russum, East Air Chair, UTLA. I want to end by sending my own message of solidarity to you all. I think as these quotes should make apparent is that teachers around the country see this fight here in Reynolds as a fight for all of us. Yep. And it certainly is a fight for us in Portland. We know, the reason is, we know, we've seen, every one of us have experienced the media campaign that has only intensified in the last couple of years to blame teachers and our unions. They say our unions protect bad teachers, that we're overpaid, that we don't work enough. That's the real, that's the most ridiculous one. And really what this is, it's part of a campaign to take out the economic crisis on the backs of working people, right? That teachers union. Teachers are the largest sector of unionized workers in the country, right? And if they want to take out the economic crisis on workers, they have to go after, right, the places where they are most organized. And that's what this media scare tactic is about. And we will not stand for it. And we have to admit that so far they've been winning, right? 300,000 educator jobs have been lost since the crisis in 2008, right? That's a huge number, which we all know is incredibly painful to not just us, but our students, our communities that we serve. But I think right now is a moment where we begin to turn the tide, okay? Here in Reynolds is part of we have to see this as part of a broader fight back. As the brother for San Francisco said, they just voted 97% to go on strike in the fall. In Chicago, they just took a vote. 80% voted to vote down their contract, and they could be joining our brothers and sisters in San Francisco in the fall as well. And as we saw in Portland with thousands of students come out for the Upset March, this is the point where we begin to turn the tide, and you are taking a stand for all of us. One thing that I think should be said about this fight in particular, that although obviously it is about a lot more than money. I mean, I could spend 10 minutes going through the non-financial, disgusting and disturbing contract language that you guys are dealing with here, but I'm not going to do that because you know it much better than I do. But I think we also have to say that in this district in particular, it is about the money, because the school board has $18 million in reserves. That's 3 times the percentage that the Oregon School Board Association recommends for school boards to have. That is absurd. They've had enough money here to give the superintendent's office a 10% salary increase in the last budget cycle. They had enough money to give administrators a 2% increase last year. Yet somehow, when it comes to teachers, right, there's no money left for you and your families. Now, the school board says that they are doing all of this for kids, but we know that teachers' working conditions are students' learning conditions. But I don't have to tell you this. You know better than me, so you tell me. Given the actions of the school board, do they care about our students? No! Do they care about teachers? No! Do they care about working families? No! What do they care about? What was that? Themselves. Money, power, whatever you want to say. Union busting? Absolutely. But this strike that you are waging is dangerous to them, and I'm going to tell you why. It's dangerous because it shows who really deserves the raises. It shows, and a say over working conditions and students' learning environment, and who doesn't, right? Because if the school board went on strike, no one would notice. But when you went on strike, the schools shut down. What that should tell us is that while they need you, and while your students and the parents of this community need you, none of us need them. And the more and more the community realizes this, the more and more they will be scared straight and will be forced to settle this contract. So thank you, Reynolds teachers. Stay strong. You're taking a stand for all of us. Your fight is our fight. Solidarity!
Thank you, Adam Sanchez, Portland teachers. Next up, we have another speaker coming up real quick to encourage the crowd, a Reynolds High School student and senior, Jake Woolsey. Please come on up.
You know, I'd like to start off by thanking you guys for standing up for what you believe in. I don't really have anything. I didn't know I was going to talk here. But I'd like to thank the teachers for making me have the confidence to speak. Without my English teachers, I probably wouldn't be doing this, all the speeches. I really like this guy's line about the school board going on strike. We never would have noticed. I really did like that, so thank you for that one. That's Facebook quote worthy. So, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say, but thank you, and you have the support of the students and the citizens. I don't know where the school board's big rally is. I think it might be on the other side. Or it's the guys in the uniforms, the security officers that they've hired to be here. You guys aren't hired to be here, so good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
First of all, again, I want to thank you. And I know some of you weren't here, so we're going to give a shout out to our groups. I have a list. Maybe more groups have joined us. Jobs with Justice is here. The Teamsters were here, and if you missed them, they have a really cool truck. We hope they come out again. We have SEIU Local 49, I hope. Laborers Local 483. Carpenters 156. Painters Local 10. Longshore ILWB 8. SEIU Local 503. The American Postal Workers. 128. ASME Council 75. We have students here. We have Mount Hood Community College, if they're still here. They were here to lend their support. We have parents here, which is wonderful. So your update. After waiting for 3.5 hours, the district gave us a proposal that was only about money. They said language will come. We just want to talk money now. So your team has been working. That's why I'm the only one out here. Our team is currently crafting a return to their reply, including language, because we believe language is as equally, if not more as important than their money. So we are hoping that since, you know, time dwindles and it takes them usually 3 hours to reply, and it is now 2:15, hopefully before 5 o'clock they will have a response to our offer. So again, thank you very much for being here. We'll give you updates as we have any. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. So hopefully we will have some news upcoming. But again, I just want to thank all of you for coming out here, and especially all my sisters and brothers in REA. I've had a chance. Normally as teachers, one of the things about teaching is we don't get to see each other a whole lot because we're with the kids and we're in our classrooms and we're doing that. And so to go around the community that I live in, some of the teachers that taught me are still teaching, and to see these people on the picket line and to be in the rain and the wind and it's cold, we've taken a huge risk, and I'm so proud to be a Reynolds teacher and a community member, and to look out in your eyes and shake your hands, and it's a really touching moment because it shows me that we are together. And even though that we teach in separate classrooms, different levels, kindergarten to high school to middle school, to speech pathologists, to school psychs, to counselors, that we are in this together. And this is a huge deal and struggle, because what we're facing is, it's not right what they're trying to do. I didn't get into the profession of teaching so that I could be vilified by the media as greedy. Greedy what? There's no greedy. We care, we serve our country, our state, our community, and we are here today to stand together as an example that we've had enough. It's time to care about our kids. It's time for the school board to do what's right, and it's time for us to continue to stand, because we are in solidarity, and all of you have done a fabulous job in the community and the students. We appreciate the support that you have given us. And this right here, this is for Teresa Delaney. I got into teaching for the kids. I don't know what they did. No, I like to teach them read and write. It's a pure delight. Delaney says she doesn't think this is appropriate. Well, I got something for you. My kids think it's really legit. Yeah, so we come here as teachers, as one, raise our voices, yeah. We've had enough, yeah, and it's time to settle this contract.